This is Anthony Apostate. I want to make just a quick video, give some of my thoughts on something that Anthony Stein had said in a recent video he did with Anthony Apostate, addressing a comment that Father Nix made about Pope Francis and Leo XIV. You know, it was kind of an offhand remark. It was really quick. It wasn't the main purpose of his video, but it caught my attention. And I think it's one of the heart of the problems going on with the semi-trad groups regarding Leo XIV. Okay. And that's just not being straight up about who he is and what he is. So I wanted to put some clips and then address some of the things that he says.
He goes into anymore. Here's what he actually said, posted to his official X account. Posted yesterday. Today, in a special way, we remember our beloved Pope Francis with deep gratitude, who exactly 1 month ago returned to the Father's house. He accompanies us and prays for the Church from heaven. Father Dave Nix responded, to at great personal risk, I might add, says, besides canonizing an apostate, again, Father Dave Nix is not one known to mince words, the notion of a return to the house of the Father at death is a Gnostic encyclical idea that implies souls are pre-existent. Not even the soul of the Blessed Virgin Mary returned to heaven at the Assumption. I think a more mild response that we should possibly model ourselves after, with respect to Father Dave Nix, it comes from Matt Gaspers. He says, respectfully, I'll continue to pray for the repose of Francis's soul and not assume he's already in heaven. Only God knows for sure, but it seems rather presumptuous to claim he's already in heaven, given the amount of scandal and confusion he caused throughout his pontificate. And I think that is the correct answer.
Well, let's just pray for the repose, yada, yada, yada. Okay, come on, people. Is he an apostate or not? Okay, is he? What Father Nix is saying is true. The man is an apostate, and we shouldn't mince words about it. Is he an apostate? That's the question. Is he an apostate? Right. Did he not pray and gather with other religions? Does he not participate in ecumenism? Did he not pray and gather with the Lutherans and encourage them in their Lutheranism and approve their Lutheranism? Did he not pray with in the smudging ceremony in Canada with that, I don't know what that person is, a witch doctor or whatnot? I mean, there's numerous things that this man did that would be considered an apostate act. Did he not say all religions are a path to God? They're all different languages that lead us to God. They're just all different languages. I mean, the man was an apostate. So why are we not just being straightforward about that? We shouldn't be sheepish about it. And this is what I think too. I think this is really odd. If Anthony Stein doesn't believe that Francis is an apostate, wouldn't you be offended by what Father Nix said? Wouldn't you be offended that Father Nix was calling your Pope an apostate? I mean, shouldn't you take a stance against that? Is it something that we could be indifferent about? Say, he's being a little bit too tough in his language there, but no, he's calling the Vicar of Jesus Christ an apostate. If he is the Vicar of Jesus Christ, he's calling him an apostate, one who you're in union with. I mean, you claim to be in union. If he's your Pope and he's called an apostate, shouldn't you rebuke Father Nix? This is what I don't get. I don't get with these particular type of trads that I guess you could say with the non-sedevacantis trads, okay? How is it that they're walking this weird fence? They recognize something, that Francis is not a Catholic. It's obvious. They recognize the man is not a Catholic. But they don't want to take I don't know, they don't want to take a certain stance because, it might lead to sedevacantism. Sedevacantism is bad. But yet Father Nix is saying the man's an apostate. So now what? But I don't want to say anything. His language is being too tough. That makes no sense to me. Do you not defend your Vicar of Jesus Christ as a Catholic? We know in our Catholic sense that man is not a Catholic. That he is an apostate. So we need to be just bold about it. Bold about what he is. I mean, I attend the CMRI. So if someone was to say that Bishop Pivarunas was an apostate, I would defend him, and he's not the vicar of Jesus Christ. He's just a traditional bishop. But I would certainly defend him, and I would not be very friendly with somebody who was calling the bishop who I submit under an apostate. Okay, I would be like, I would rebuke this man. I'd be like, what are you talking about? And if there were priests within the CMRI that were calling him an apostate, there would be problems within there. You know what I'm saying? What unity is there in this church, in this Vatican II church, among the traditionals, if some priest can call the man who they claim to be the vicar of Jesus Christ to be an apostate, and you don't defend against him? You just be clear in your words. You know the man's apostate. Don't say, "Oh, we take a strong stance here. I don't want to take a strong stance. We just pray for the repose of the soul." Call a spade a spade. The man prayed with other false religions. He's an apostate. I mean, what the heck, people? Come on. That's the kind of like, I don't know, just wishy-washy, like very weak speak that I just find ridiculous. And then think about it too, what this says about Leo XIV. And this is what Anthony Stein was pointing out about Leo XIV, that in his homily, he's basically saying he's looking down from us from heaven or whatnot. He's basically canonizing the man without canonizing him. He's canonizing this apostate. Okay? That's what Leo XIV is doing. He's canonizing an apostate in so many ways, in so many words. Okay? Saying the man is praying, looking down on us from heaven. You know, he goes to the tomb of Francis and pays homage. With a public spectacle. He goes to his tomb in the Catholic Church where he's buried and kneels before his tomb and gives homage in this public spectacle of unity with Francis. This man is showing unity with an apostate. So what do we say about that? Are we going to mince words about that, or are we going to be honest about that? Right? Think about it. What Leo XIV should do is tear out that tomb from that Catholic Church and get rid of Francis and all those other apostate popes that are buried in holy places and take them out. They don't belong there. They don't belong in those sanctified locations. They don't belong in those churches. These men of apostasy. They don't belong there. But no, that's not what he does. He goes there and prays at his tomb, bows down there in a public spectacle. So why are we not being bold in saying the truth? That's my first thought when I saw when I heard this in this interview, but what Anthony Stein was saying. He said, "Oh, he's being a little strong." Yes, he is being strong. He's being straight up. Okay, I don't know much about Father Nix. Okay, but all I know is that he called the man an apostate, and that's pretty bold. That's pretty honest. That's pretty straightforward. Why can't these other people say it? Oh, I don't want to do that. It's not. What did Pius XI say in Mortali Anonibus about ecumenism? He said it's apostasy, and those who participated are apostates. So that's what the Vatican II religion is. It's an apostate religion, and that's what they participate in. So just be honest about it. Of course, he's in union with him. That should tell us all we need to know about Leo XIV. What else do we need to know? What else is to know about the man? He's already shown his colors. So let's just be straightforward. Let's be honest about who and what Francis is. We know Francis. Just be honest about it. And then let's be honest about what Leo XIV is. A man who identifies with him, prays at his tomb, prays for him, praises him in his homilies. He's no different, people. It's clear.
I tend to think he's a hybrid between John Paul II and Pope Francis, that he's meant to bridge the gap between the two.
That's a good way to synthesize it. Yeah.
And if you're dedicated to the truth, you can't ignore the evil, like bad, evil things he might do, but you can't also ignore the good things he does. So it means you have to take a different approach, because I would be shocked if he ever raised a Pachamama to the altars, or he ever put a little golden statue of that fat guy in the East that they worship on top of a tabernacle, which happened in Assisi in 1988. I would be shocked if those things happened, because that doesn't seem to be his style.
But he doesn't see Leo XIV do that. Why would you not see Leo XIV doing that? What makes you? He's no different. He would 100% do something like that. He is not opposed to doing that. There's no way he would not do that. It just doesn't. I mean, you just said that he is a blend of those two. Okay, he's a blend of those two. Now maybe he means that JP2's like personality, his charisma, his acting ability, and Francis is I don't know, more for the poor or something. Who knows what he means by that? But he's saying he's blending those two together. To say that he would not do something, he would not follow in the apostate actions of his predecessors is ridiculous. Of course he will, and of course he would. It doesn't. There's nothing to indicate he would not. Right? So come on. He is just like them. He's just like the apostate JP2. He's just like the apostate Francis. He is them. All right, he is them. Yes, he hasn't done already. Give it time. He's only been in office a few weeks. That is what he's about. Okay, he's about that. So it just let's be clear. There's no way he would not. Of course he would.
And you will see that now, because it's going to become a lot harder to convince people there's a problem when you have a pope who speaks beautiful Latin, chants in beautiful Latin, says very Catholic things like what you're about to hear in this address, and takes very public stances on things in a very good way, while sometimes doing some not so great things, like I covered yesterday. So we take the good with the bad, we be truthful, and we have to come up, tell the truth in a way that was categorically in a different way than Francis, because Francis made it easy. He really did.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult because the semi-trads, the non-sedevacantist trads, are basically fawning over him as if he's some kind of a trad. And he's not. And they're part of the deception. Right? They're part of it. They're going around saying, "Oh, yeah, look, look how wonderful he is. He's doing Latin. Oh, he's wearing these nice vestments." Come on, people. This is why people are going to be fooled, is because the commentary in the semi-trad world is like they're sycophants of him. And so it's kind of disgusting in some ways how they're fawning over him as if he's somehow different. And that's what's deceptive, okay? Because people are listening to them and they're thinking, "Oh, look, yeah, he is saying in Latin, and that means he's wonderful. That means he's a Catholic because he said something in Latin. He's saying the Regeni Coeli in Latin." Okay? Francis said the Regeni Coeli in Latin too. Okay? He did that as well. I mean, come on. I mean, we can't be so superficial. But that's why people are going to be deceived. That's why people are going to be fooled. Okay? Imagine if this man actually did a TLM, did the traditional Latin Mass. If he offered the traditional Latin Mass, that would secure it. Every trad, Anthony Stein as well, would be fawning. Would be like, "Oh, look, he did the TLM. He's on our side now. He's total traditionalist. He's wonderful." I mean, it'd be so easy to fool these people. All he'd have to do is just do one traditional Latin Mass, and it's over. There's no fight anymore. They would say he is a traditionalist. That's why people are going to be fooled. Okay, they're fooled not by the Where Peter Is group or all those people. Okay, they're fooled by the semi-trads not taking a firm stance and not calling a spade a spade. That's why people are going to be fooled. And then when the sedes are saying what we're saying, we're the bad guys. We're the bad guys now. Okay. You guys are the moderate, the moderate ones that giving you this moderate perspective. And we don't want to be too strong in our language. We just got to see how the Holy Father's, what he's going to do. Oh, come on, man. It's obvious what he's doing, where he's going. So that's how people are going to be fooled. We got to be strong, as you said in your video there. We got to be strong and say the word. Well, then, okay. Then call a spade a spade. Call it apostate apostate. Call what it is, it is. Ave Maria.